Welcome back to A&A. I promised you we was gonna be replacing the drag link on the 1-ton. Well, we've chosen a little bit of a different route to go there. Mainly because, well, I'm cheap. So, hang on, it's coming up. This is A&A. Welcome back to A&A. Beautiful day today, got a little rain. If you're like me, you know, I remember back when I was a kid and I always looked forward to the rain because it always cooled things off, washed everything off, got it all clean. Temperature drops to a nice, comfortable, cool level, and it just feels good out here. So, enjoying the day. Today, if you've been following along with me, all this will make sense to you. The drag link on the front of the truck, we destroyed the grease boot when we were replacing the steering gear. Got a couple options there. They do sell aftermarket tie rod end boots, grease boots. They do have some aftermarket ones, and I have never tried one of those. May work fine. However, I had an old drag link that I had replaced on the 3/4 ton. I had the old one out in the scrap pile. So I went out there and I took the boot off of it. Now, is it perfect? Nope. It's better than the one that is on this truck though. Also, what I'm gonna show you is a little trick. The original Ford parts, they don't have grease fittings. You know, they're maintenance free, which is great. But this truck is it's a 2008, so it's 14 years old. It needs a little maintenance. So you can drill in the top of that ball joint, you know, where there should be a fitting and there's not. You can drill into the top of that, and then you can tap into it a grease fitting, so that then you can pump some grease into that ball joint, extend the life of it. And so I'm gonna be showing you how to do that today as well. So for right now though, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna break the drag link back loose from the pitman arm, which shouldn't be too hard because, you know, we only had that thing off like a week ago. All right, here's the boot that got utterly destroyed. This is the one I got off of the old drag link from the one I replaced on the 3/4 ton. I'm going with that one. All right. So we're gonna drill a little hole. I got the new old boot on. It's looking really good. Way much better than the one that we destroyed, obviously. So now, so there's no grease fitting on this ball joint. A lot of them come that way. Ford's been, and I'm sure a lot of other manufacturers have been putting maintenance-free joints on their vehicle for a while. So this bar right here is going to be in my way just a little bit. The object is to drill this thing as straight as you can, but we got some stuff in the way. But for our purposes, it's going to be close enough. So what I've got here, my grease fitting is what they call a drive-in. There's no threads on it. It has little ridges, little burrs on the shaft there. So when I get my hole drilled, I can tap this in, you know, with a hammer, and it'll grab a hold. You've also got self-tapping grease fittings you can buy, whereas you drill a certain size hole, and then as you thread it in, it's tapping its own threads. So this is a 3/16 fitting, and I've got a 5/32 drill bit. The hole may be a little small. We may have to make it bigger. I don't know, but I had to start somewhere, and the box didn't give me instructions. And because mainly the pilot hole, it all depends on the thickness of the material, the hardness of the material. This little cap on these ball joints aren't very thick, and I don't think it's very hard. So I'm gonna drill the smaller hole, and we'll just see. Make note, as soon as you feel the drill bit go through, stop. Well, it was thicker than I thought it was, but all right, that turned out pretty well. So, and there was some grease that come out on the drill bit, so it does have some grease in the joint, but it hasn't had any new grease, fresh grease put in 14 years. So what I'm gonna do is attempt to get some fresh grease in there. All right, so we got our drive-in grease fitting. I can tell you right now that hole's not big enough. All right, I'm gonna step up one size bit because I can't even get the end of it in the hole. All right, I have an 11/64, which is a 64th bigger than the one I had. I don't want to go too big. That's why I'm taking baby steps, because if you get your hole too big, then I got to go buy another set of grease fittings. All right, here we go. Yep. Let's see how that's going to fit. Nope. Well, I guess when I say a 3/16 fitting, they mean a 3/16 hole, because that's the next. So next bit size is 3/16. Well, let's do it. All right, 3/16 bit. I guess this is supposed to be common knowledge, but you know, I've only used the threaded ones before. I don't know. Here we go. All right. Now, when I'm tapping this thing in, I'm not going to bang on the end where the little check ball is, little spring-loaded check ball. I don't want to booger that up. So what I did was I got a 1/4-inch socket. Well, it's not a 1/4-inch. This is my 7mm socket, but it's a quarter-inch drive. A 7mm will fit over that and catch on the flange of that grease fitting. That way I don't have to beat on the end of my grease fitting and mess it up. Okay, that feels like it may be it. So you and I have learned today a 3/16 drive-in grease fitting needs a 3/16 hole. Now I just need a hammer. And as long as I don't drop this, or lose it, should be in pretty good shape. There you have it. A 3/16 drive type fitting. You gotta drill a 3/16 hole, and it was really tight. You know, I was banging on it pretty hard to get it in there, but she's in. I'm gonna pump a little grease into it, and this little project right here will be finished. Well, that's gonna wrap up this little repair. I know it wasn't much, but You know, as I was searching for a new grease boot for my drag link, they are not out there. And so I opted to go with the used boot off the old drag link that we salvaged. Worked out really well, and was able to put a grease fitting in the little ball joint on the drag link. So pump that with some grease so it'll last longer. So this repair, all in all, was really cheap. I didn't spend a dime on it because the boot was salvaged from the old drag link from the 3/4 ton. I already had the grease fittings in the shop, a box of them I had bought a while back. So not a dime was spent. That's always a good day when you can fix it and you didn't spend anything. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. If you have any comments or suggestions, I always welcome those. If you have any criticisms, please note, I am not a professional. Do not claim to be. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy that likes trying stuff on his own and taking y'all along for the ride. So perhaps while you're doing your project, I may do something right or I may do something wrong, and then you can learn from that and improve your project. We learn from each other. So hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Have a good day, and please remember, be kind to one another. See you next time.